Hello, this is Susan Ashley and welcome to my YouTube channel, Susan&Kassandra. I'd like to do a very short conversation about the art of meditation and how important that is in our lives at the moment, given that there's so much stress and there's so many different people and, let's say, governing bodies that are vying for our energy, our attention, which takes us away from ourselves. And when we're taken away from ourselves, we get confused, our, let's say, energy to achieve something gets weakened, we can often be clouded, we can feel overwhelmed, and we can also be tired, scattered. And we all know that when we're tired and our energy is scattered and we're confused, there's no way we can create or manifest what we want in our life. And all we're simply doing is helping those outside frequencies create what they want. So this meditation group is about, first of all, you coming to yourself and resonating at the frequency of which you want to create as a reality for you personally. Even though it is a group scenario, and what I understand about groups, I've been running groups for 30 years now, so what I understand about the group energy is it amplifies everything. If you've got someone in the group who's really, really good at something, that frequency will travel through the whole group and help them to raise themselves into that frequency. So if you've got a group of people who are very, let's say, clear channels for information, have clarity in their own guidance, and really believe in themselves, anyone that comes into that frequency, that eventually will rub off on them. So that's why a group situation is very important. It's important to gather together with a common goal. Now that common goal doesn't have to be, well, everybody wants a house or everybody wants a car or everybody wants a relationship. The common goal can simply be to find peace within yourself, to let go of everything that's interfering in your energy and creating that scatteredness, that confusion, that overwhelm that isn't allowing you to actually focus and place your attention on what it is that you want in your life. So when we normally talk about creating something, it's always something external, isn't it? It's a home, it's a relationship, it's a new job, it's a car, it's more money, it's things like this. However, your success in that is directly proportionate to how you feel in yourself and what you are vibrating within yourself. What is your primary frequency? And what we know from studying meditation through the Heart Math Society, all the different meditation research that's been done on the planet, is that when we come to peace, everything in the outside world seems to come to peace. That could be because we are now drawing to us a similar vibration. And what I've come to learn and understand is that if I'm at peace, if I'm vibrating at a frequency of love and above, which is joy, love, peace, they're the higher vibrations within the collective. Therefore, whatever I bring into my life will help me to sustain that frequency, whether that is I need a new job, I need a new home, I need a new partner, I need a new place to live, a different country, a different, frequency that will come as a result of where I'm standing. This is the new energy because we are used to creating from the mind, creating from a system that has been in existence for thousands of years, and that system is collapsing. We can see it. It is definitely collapsing all around us. There's ups and downs, troubles, and it's also why many of you are finding it difficult to manifest at the moment, because you're trying to manifest with the new energy that's here with the old way. So we need to embrace the new way, and the new way is to go within. It's not to give your energy outside, but it's what you are vibrating from within you externally, which then creates a magnetic field that draws to you naturally without you pushing, without you being in competition or having to fight for anything. It naturally draws to you what you need to maintain that frequency. So the most important thing you can do is understand your own God code. All of us have the God code within. It's in the fluid in the body, and this is a method that I'm teaching at the moment in the meditation group. It's not difficult, you just need to follow along. I've been meditating now for 40 years. I started meditating in my early 20s, and I've studied all different types of meditation, and from that I've been able to teach and formulate different ways to meditate that at the moment are very useful for maintaining that peace. When you have a problem and you get all scattered and full of fear and you're angry and you're upset, the solution doesn't come. The moment that you relax and you calm down, the solution starts to come. And that's got to do with your frequency. When your frequency is in chaos, then you'll attract more chaos. If your frequency is in peace, you'll attract whatever you need to continue that peace. So one of the things that we're concentrating on at the moment, which is why I'm making this video, is something that I came across probably 10 years ago, and it's a plane of existence. It's a frequency on the planet that's been dormant for thousands of years, and it's called the abundance plane. And when you tap into the abundance plane, really interesting things start to happen. Now, we've been through this in the group. The group's been going for 3 years, and people come and go within the group, but we also have a core center of the group, which really empowers it. The people who are mostly involved in this group are very awake, very aware, and uniquely have their own abilities and strengths that they contribute to the group. And what we noticed is that when we start tapping into this abundance plane with these techniques, miracles of abundance begin to happen. And for each person, it's different. So someone's miracle of abundance can be to find the perfect home, perfect job, like we've repeated again and again and again. It's not necessarily about money, right? When we restrict our ability to create, to build the world that we want using only money, we restrict what can come to us. There are many possibilities here of how we can receive something. So when just in the last 2 weeks, I've started to marry these two energies together, which is the God code in your DNA and connecting to the abundance plane. And we're doing a bit of an experiment at the moment, so I'm inviting you to join us on this Saturday morning to see what happens for you with regards to prosperity, abundance, more peace in your life. And as I said, when you come together with high frequency people, it automatically pushes your energy up as well and helps you to move into a new way of being much faster. If everybody knows this. If you hang around people who are thieves and they're constantly fighting, well, you're never going to create anything but more of that, right? But if you hang around successful people who are good at what they do and hold an energy of integrity, that makes you feel safe, and then you open up to that aspect of yourself and it helps you to achieve. It's why people look for mentors or they look for coaches in different arenas, because that coach has already explored that, already professionally been able to accomplish what it is that you're looking for. And this is what I'm saying about the meditation. I've already accomplished these things. So as a collective group, we have collectively accomplished a lot of things, a lot of miracles in this group. A lot of amazing things have happened. And, every week I get emails, messages from people, what's happening for them this week. And I love it. I just love to hear it. I love to hear about the changes that are happening in people's lives that are positive. And sometimes it doesn't happen straight away. Sometimes it takes a couple of months for you to let go, which is why we also created the Wednesday evening live healings on YouTube on this channel, Susan&Kassandra. If you look at the channel, there's videos, and then there's another little, there's videos, and then there's something like, notifications, and then there's live. If you click on live, that's where you find this group, and you'll find the recordings from that live group, some that I've left on YouTube. I don't always leave them, but on Wednesday evenings, what we do is a group healing, because I look at what's going on in the meditation group, where people are stuck. When you're meditating, you're receiving energy. And sometimes we don't want to receive something because there's a block that's happening for us, whether it's ancestral, it's coming from our parents, whether it comes from a past life, whether it comes from a collective consciousness of something that you have been programmed to believe and receive. So when we let go of these, our energy then opens up and we're able to receive more of ourself and more of that God code, more of universal truths. What the God code is universal laws, knowledge, and truth. That's what it is. And every single one of us holds it, and I can prove it to you, because every one of you listening to this knew when you were young what was good and what was bad. You knew instinctively what was right and what was wrong. You had an inner knowing about this, what was unfair and what was fair, what was not nice and what was nice, what made you feel uncomfortable because you knew it was wrong. So you all had that inner knowing, and that inner knowing has been watered down through the society around you, telling you that being connected to that God code and being connected to your own wisdom, your own truth, and your own inner knowing was wrong. And when you're told repeatedly, don't do that, do what I say, listen, in the classroom, if you don't get all A's or all, top marks, there's something wrong with you. Now, you might be a very creative being and, sitting and studying all day, just learning the words out of a book doesn't accommodate you. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're not a genius. It simply means that the system has put us all into one characteristic or category, and that may not accommodate you, and you knew it was wrong, and you knew you weren't stupid, and you knew that what they were doing was painful and hurtful to you, but you shut yourself down. And when you shut yourself down, you disassociate yourself from your own inner knowing, because the outside world told you again and again and again you were wrong. So when you open to the God code, you realize, okay, my intuition, my instincts, my inner knowing are the most important thing for me at this moment to listen to, and nothing else. That's why it's important to not separate ourselves, but to disassociate, disconnect from the outside world, go within, and then we can go out and create. But if we are being influenced by all these things, fear of war, fear of no money, fear of lack of food, fear of loss of job, fear of lack of health, all of these things, fear, then where is the joy of creating? Where is the energy for you to bring something new, to birth something new, when you're down in the frequency of pain, misery, restriction, confusion, fear? So these meditations are dedicated to raising your frequency. When you work on raising your frequency, whatever is underneath will come up. So Wednesday evening meditations are dedicated to healing what comes up. And like I said, it can be any number of things. I work off what I'm being steered to do, what you write to me, what people share with me. I take bits of that and I bring it together and we work on it in the healings. Now, the healings on Wednesday evening are simply pay what you can. And I think this is appropriate. If you wanted a healing with me personally, it's going to cost you money, right? But because of the situation that we're in on the planet at the moment, I was guided to do this so that more and more people were set free. It's called freedom to create. Because when you are stuck with all of these things that belong to everyone else and everything else, you are not creating the reality that you want. And for most people, it's a beautiful reality, because most people want good. They want to be loved. They want to be seen as good. The reason that we are obeying all the madness is because we want to be good citizens, right? Even if the man-made laws, the government is telling you to do something that's going to kill you or harm your child, you are so afraid to go against it, going against your own inner knowing, what's screaming at you, because obviously when you were young, you were told, that's wrong. You won't fit in society if you play that game. You mustn't listen to yourself, right? So these healings are dedicated to undoing all of that programming, all of those frequencies that you have been swallowing in your system, perhaps for lifetimes and generations. And when we release them, our whole life begins to change. Now, as I said, it may not happen overnight. For some people it does. You've been working on stuff for years and it just clicks in, suddenly clicks in. For others, it takes a little bit of time. You know, people get, because we're in this system of fast, I want to find out information, you know, press a button. I want everything to happen really fast. We've forgotten to have patience. We have forgotten that to learn something takes time. When you learn to drive, like, I'll give you an example, okay? Kids these days think because they're on these games that they can drive a car the moment they get in a car, because on the games they're driving. But, you know, and I've had personal experience of kids going, oh yeah, I can drive better than you, you know, and blah, 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 blah. But when they get in for that first driving lesson, they're bunny rabbiting all down the road, they're crunching the gears, they can't actually do it, and they're in for a rude shock because they expect it to be the same as the video game, and it's not. And then they get frustrated because they have to spend a few months learning to drive, and they don't have the patience anymore. They want to drive at 100 kilometers an hour. They want to be able to, you know, do wheelies and do all of this sort of silly stuff because that's what they've learned. Stupidly, that's what they think has to happen. And if they don't do it that fast, you know, they're competing with everybody else, then they're a loser and there's something wrong with them. So they're instant gratification, instant knowledge, instant this. It doesn't happen in real life. That's in the metaverse. It's not in real life. In real life, we need to apply ourselves to learn something. We need to re-educate our energy system, our emotional and our mental body to refuse all of this chaos that's vying for our attention, vying for our energy, to keep the chaos going. And when you meditate and you heal with a group of people, it's far more powerful than, you know, doing it on your own, because you can sense. Like, I had someone say to me yesterday from the group, they said, I really feel the power of that energy. I really sense that we are a solid group of people, even though they may not know each other. They're from different sides of the planet. We feel that connection. And what's happening for all of us is we're unfolding. You know, we're all gaining a sixth sense. It's happening naturally, but that sixth sense is being corralled and focused on something. These different governing bodies or media, government, you know, all of that want us to place our energy on. But I am saying to you, if you return it to you and you start directing it for yourself, miraculously, the world will become a better place. Because we need to focus on the good within. We need to focus on concentrating on the good in others and drawing that out of them and drawing it to us. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, the importance of meditation. Look, you can look up a lot of the research. And you'll find, yes, it helps with stress, it helps with anxiety, it can help with a lot of things, but it can also tap you into frequencies that have been dormant within yourself and that you disconnected from because of the outside world. And this is the important thing. And so when I'm talking about the God code, I'm talking about knowledge and information that you have stored within yourself that you've forgotten. When we do the abundance plane, it's about tapping into an old plane of existence that's still around and strengthening that. And that is not about money. It's about freedom. It's about creativity, innovation, joy, happiness, expression. You know, when money was first created, it was created as beads, you know. So we went from the barter system to a system that was of exchange. So the medium between was a bead, and then it turned into a coin, and then it got faces on it. So there was a medium that happened, and that was a currency between a current of energy exchange between you and that person. And what it did was it opened up smaller villages and things to each other. It opened people up to bigger cities. It helped them to grow. It helped people to move around so they could exchange these beads in order to, you know, purchase things, to live somewhere, to create something new. Because before, with the barter system, you couldn't do that unless you had something to barter. I mean, let's say someone who was a blacksmith couldn't lug all of their stuff to each town, you know, set up shop easily the way it is now and do it. So and what are you going to barter with that person to get all the things that you need? Maybe you don't have anything that blacksmith needs. Maybe you don't have anything to exchange. So then you'd have to exchange with someone else and exchange. So it created a lot of difficulty. And I know there are a lot of people saying we're going to go back to the barter system, but I actually don't believe that. I think there will still be a financial system, and it will be that because there'll still be a currency. It's an energy exchange between you and I that will still be in existence, because the barter system will then shut us all down from moving around. And that's not such a good idea, right? Because how do we, you and I, how do we get inspired? We meet new people. We go to new countries. We learn new things. How can you do that with a barter system? You can't. So it shuts everything down. The abundance plane, when it was originally created, when these beads were originally thought of, it was by two women in two different areas of the planet around the same time, which is China and the Middle East. And these created so much freedom. It started to create trade. It created a lot of things. And then, of course, it turned into silver and gold coins. And then it turned into, you know, the money that we have today over the, you know, putting faces on it. Putting faces on it. What is putting faces on that? It's claiming the right to that frequency. Are you getting it? It's actually claiming that frequency as their own. And that's what governments do. And it's why when you look at, I'll take the European Union, the euro, right? Most countries that go into the euro, before they go into the euro, they feel abundant. When they get into the euro, people start to feel like they have less money. The people start to feel like they have less money, because the energy of the euro is about enslavement. Yeah, so all of those little images on the money is for us to give that energy to that particular person, the ideology of that person or that institution, right? So I'm just saying that as a little bit of energy, a little bit of information about what we discover in these groups. And so I would really love for you to join us and to grow this group even more, and to invite your friends into it. Unfortunately, with the meditation group, that has limited space on Zoom at the moment. It has limited space. So, you know, please come and join us. But, you know, it does have a limitation. If I see that more and more people are coming on, I'll open it up to more people, but for the moment we have limited space. Obviously on Wednesday evening with the healings, it's unlimited, so that's really good. And it's important to note that if you're trying to create something but all your beliefs and all your pain is sitting there going, I'm not worthy, I have shame, oh my God, I'm fearful around this, then the chances of you creating it are hit and miss. You know, I mean, you could create it if you really pushed hard and used your will. Yep, you can create it. Anything is possible. However, how long will you keep it? And what will happen to take it away from you? Because you really don't believe that you're worthy of it and you really don't understand it, right? So it's a very, you know, finances, abundance are a very interesting subject. It's a very hot subject at the moment because people are feeling a lot of fear. Throw out the fear. Join us on these two times a week if you can. One for integrating and heightening your energy. The other one for releasing whatever's blocking that. These two things work really well together. And I don't monetize my YouTube channel for a reason, which is, and it's also been shadow banned, so I know people don't receive these notifications or anything around. So I'm really pushing it out there some days, because I know that YouTube has shadow banned me. I absolutely know that. I had 12 months where I couldn't even post anything because they shut me down, and then I had to fight to get the channel back. And since then, I've had no growth, nothing. So I'm really banking on you sharing this with friends and you know, pressing the notification and doing all of that so that we get more and more people involved in this. The more and more people that we get involved in this, the more you and I grow. You see, unity consciousness, 5D, is not about I'm having this and you're having less. It's the concept is if I grow, we all grow. We all receive. We all benefit from the goodness. We all benefit, right? It's not a competition anymore. That is failing us. I could talk for hours on that, but I'm not going to. I really want to put this video up, but I really would love it if you would join us for these groups. And also, just before I leave, know this: everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. A lot of stuff is going to go down, and we know it. There's a push for it. However, if you look at the past, any war, any conflict, the depression, all of these things, if you look at the past, there are people that whilst they were in it and when they came out of it were better off than when they started. And I want you to be one of those people. I want you all to be a community of those people that come out of it better off than when you started. It's throughout history. And how we do it, I will show you in these groups. And, you know, if you want to give a donation, that's fine. If you can't afford it, that's fine. There's no pressure. I've been working, I'll just give you a little bit of my background. I've been working, I started off working as a psychotherapist 38 years ago. And I dedicated my life to that work. And over the years, I've trained and developed in different areas. I'm very spiritual, I'm quite psychic, although I don't call myself psychic, I'd prefer to call myself spiritual, because psychic is about energy, spiritual is about having that connection to God and integrity and using my abilities to work in harmony with that. So I've always been one step ahead of what's coming. And I've always used those abilities to assist the people that come to me to living a good life. And it's at various different degrees. When I started working with people who'd been severely abused, and that taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about compassion. It helped me to understand the mind frames of people and how it gets locked in and how abuse really affects us. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, energetically, how it affects us. So I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of expertise and practical knowledge behind me. And I feel confident that together we can co-create a beautiful reality and a fabulous new earth. We just need to know how to do it. You just require the tools to know how to do that. And I'd like to share them with you. And it's not because I want to make money, because that's obvious, right? It's my motivation is not money. This morning I looked at a video that was sent to me, and it was some guy saying that he had cracked the God code, and all you needed to do was listen to this frequency of music that he created, and it only costs, $199, or, this special deal today is $37. So there are a lot of people making money deliberately deceiving people. Because that's only a little part of what the God code is. Yes, it is a frequency, but everybody has a different energetic frequency within them. We have an energetic signature that's like our fingerprint that's unique to us. And there are a lot of people out there saying, do this course, do that course with me, and you'll be successful in everything. Look, part of the reason that I chose to do this right now is because I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sickened by people who are using this time on the planet where people are desperate to make money off them. This for me, yeah, you can come and see me as a client and I will charge you. That's a given. And I'm not saying to you, join this group and I'll give you a free video on something to explain something to you. Which, there was a big pull years ago, they started, I'll give you this for free and then you sign up for this. You get this for free and you sign up for this. I know this is going longer than I thought, but I need to say this. And you sign up for free and blah, blah, blah. Look, I've had agents contact me, we want to represent you, blah, blah, blah. And they all came up with this design, like 12 years ago for me to do this. I said no. They all came up with different costings I could do. I could charge, 10 times the price that I'm charging, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't want to do it. And some of them were clients of mine, right, that really valued what I did, loved what I did, and they wanted to help me to get out there, but I cannot. It's not because I don't like money, I do. But I cannot prostitute myself. I can't do that to people who are in need. I just can't do it. So yes, there are a lot of influencers out there and people who think I'm silly because I'm giving stuff away or I'm, doing this sort of stuff. I've had readers say to me, you give way too much information. You should only give not even half of the information you give in a reading because, you can make them come back and pay you more. That makes me feel sick. So I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't give you false hope. That's why I can't say, in 10 weeks, you'll be a millionaire. I can't do that because everybody is different. Everybody's had different traumas. There is not one formula fits all. We're all different. What would work with one client doesn't work with another client. We're all different. So, I just wanted to share that with you. Be careful who you align with because, there's a lot of sharks out there at the moment. Oh, do this, come on this and pay for this and pay for that. Yeah, yes, they have to make a living and they do their ads. That's why I don't monetize my YouTube because Look, if I monetized it, I'm sure that I would have more views and I'd be put up on people's notifications and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. But I won't monetize it because I won't give them any money. I'm saying you cannot make money from me. That would be prostituting myself. So I'm not going to do it. So yes, I do groups on Zoom. Like I'll do a channeling group or something like that on Zoom that's private for groups of people, and I do charge. It's a very reasonable price, extremely reasonable. And I do those when I get the calling to do them, and I don't share them on YouTube or anything like that. They're like that. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have all that Facebook and all of that. I do have Telegram because I like Telegram. I was kicked out of Facebook anyway. So, you know, I mean, what I'm saying is to be mindful of where and who you give your energy to, just like the dollar notes that you have and the coins that you have with a face on it. Be mindful who you give your energy to, because if that person isn't honoring you and giving you everything they can give you, and they're holding back and they're tying you to, oh, level 1, level 2, level 3, you know, you have to pay more, come back more. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And I think that there needs to be a free flow with people. If you feel it's right to come to the meditation group that particular Saturday, it's right for you. If you feel it's right for you to come to the healing group on that particular Wednesday, it's right for you. You don't have to come every week. You may not need to come that week. It may not be the right energy for you that week. It may have nothing to do with you that week, so you're not drawn to it. You know? And this for me is important, because what it's doing is it's getting you to tune into you and know what's right for you. I'm not going to say to you, you have to do 10 weeks, or you have to do 12 weeks, or you have to do 1 year, and you have to do level 1, 2, and 3 before you can even do this. I'm saying come when you feel it's right. So if you feel the honesty in what I'm saying to you and you like to join these groups, come, see, experience, find out for yourself. But you're under no obligation to remain. You're under no obligation to keep coming. You can do exactly what feels right for you. That's the important thing. And that's what's going to save us all, is all of us understanding what it's... Look, I get messages, people saying to me, should I travel now? Should I do this? Should I do that? My answer is listen to your inner voice, and you will know. And some people don't like to hear that because they want someone else to be responsible for them. But I cannot be responsible for you if you're not willing to take a step yourself. I would not be a good therapist or a good healer, a good consultant, if I made you dependent on me. As a parent, we want our children to be independent, self-functioning, and able to live a life without us if anything happens, right? It's the same if you're a therapist. You want your clients to live a full life independent of you. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I hope to see you on Saturday morning for the meditation. I hope to see you Wednesday evening for the healing. And yeah, just feel into it and see if it's right for you. Lots of love. Bye for now.